viewers of this channel. This is Fantastic Force issue 405 by Tom Falcon and Ryan Paul. It is fun, I guess. I have talked about this run before. It is a run that on paper is ideal. Tom Falcon and Ryan Paul on Fantastic Force. It sounds like the perfect creators to work on Fantastic Force. But Tom Falcon, he kicks the book back to the 60s and then tries to make it a book for the 90s. The characters all regress to their Silver Age personalities, but then they have 90s stuff happen to them. The art is nearly always good though. One of those 90s things that happened was to the Thing. He literally became a 90s thing. His face was scarred. His face was badly damaged after a fight with Wolfman from the Excellent Men. And here we have the team, who I will explain in a minute. They cure the Thing of being a monster. And this must be about the 60th time he has been cured now. And he is still a whinging baby. He is a monster because even though he is human again, he still has scars on his face from when Wolfman slashed it. And so that's just as bad as being a rock monster. Trust me, the true monster is inside the Thing, not his exterior appearance. One big change is that Invisible Wife is leading the team now. And it is the 90s, so we have a lot of bullshit to explain. Mr. Fantasticals died. So he was replaced with, officially, Ant-Man, the Paul Rudd version. But then Human Fire also sort of quit. And now we have a team that definitely includes Seaman. It was disgustingly being paired with Invisible Wife now that her husband is dead. As if there is any actual people who want those two together. We also have Luna Lovegood, the Skrull that Human Fire married when she was pretending to be Kerry Washington. And lastly, we have Christoph Christopherson, the adopted son and rightful heir of Mr. Doom. There were some other important characters too, but those are the ones who matter for this issue. Mr. Fantasticals actually comes back next issue. Here is some of that 90s flair for you. Paul Rudd, Ant-Man, gets extreme. A character that didn't need a redesign, and a character who is going to be leaving the title when Mr. Fantasticals comes back. He gets to look like he is an image rip-off of Ant-Man instead. It actually takes us quite a while to get to our main plot, which is pretty crazy considering how densely populated it is. And we have character vignettes at the start here. The Skrull wife, Luna Lovegood. A character I obviously cannot invest in. She could be written as the best character in the book, but the way she was introduced and the retcon, it's so shit I have little time for her as an actual character. Seaman also has some really awful air, making the idea Invisible Wife would ever move on from her husband with him even more unbelievable. What happens is the team, they are attacked by a collection of dead characters like Conan the Barber, and we also have Green Gobbler, because our bad guy is T.O. Morrow, and he is using time travel nonsense to make these people from different eras appear and fight his foes for about 5 seconds. It is kind of the equivalent of those lame cameos in the Flask movie. You're meant to be excited about fucking Red Raven or Melter appearing for a few seconds. During the fighting, Thing becomes a rock monster again, because of course he does. He never stops whining about wanting a cure, but whenever he gets one, it'll last about 10 minutes before he decides to become Thing again, and then start complaining about being Thing again. Naturally, I will explain T.O. Morrow, the bad guy for this issue. I think he is well picked to feature as a Fantastic Force baddie. He is originally a Silver Age 4 enemy. He was the first real supervillain 4 went up against. He is a time traveller from the future who goes back in time with his advanced weaponry to kind of just show off. He appears on and off in 4 comics over the years. Off mostly. He always made sense as a bad guy to share, but outside of this Fantastic Force appearance and a Spider-Man team-up story, they never used him that much. I guess it is the case that Kronos makes him redundant. He may be dead. The last time he appeared, he died. And while a lot of that story was reset, due to T.O. Morrow's nature of being a time traveller, it is likely that he did meet his end in that divergent reality that was erased. He might have appeared in the last 10 years. I don't read or care about those comics. By my reckoning, he is possibly dead. These are very brief cameos from characters like Darkout and Captain Cold. Neither of them getting to say anything, but they appear on single panels, showing a fight with a hero that we deserve to see play out. But I guess it is fun enough to see all these characters again. It only feels disappointing if you are a fan of any of these characters that T.O. Morrow is dragging from the past, present and future, because they all get so little to do and they are all basically under his control to some degree. They take away his time belt, and that is him defeated. Very lackluster. Thing also calls T.O. Morrow his old sparring partner, but I don't think they have ever even met before. I think this issue has a strong set piece, but it isn't fully realised. It needed to be longer, I reckon. We needed a whole issue of Tito Morrow bringing forth these various characters. Maybe cut down the character stuff at the start to allow more breathing space for the actual story and the action. I maintain there is some fun here. Not perfect, but fun nonetheless. So 7 thumbs up seems right.